Tell us more about the details of it. Who gets what?
Yeah, last night we heard from Eurogroup Chief Mario Centeno saying this essentially is made up of three packages. Two were uncontroversial and a third was quite controversial, which was causing the delay here. This came after 3 days of negotiations, over 16 hours sitting in video chats. And this all came down to the question of how to use architecture that was intended for the financial crisis of a decade ago. Now, the package consists of a 100 billion euro re-employment scheme called SURE that's designed to keep people in employment. Then there will be up to 200 billion euros available in loans from the European Investment Bank. And then finally, countries can draw up to 240 billion euros from the European Stability Mechanism. Now, that's the tool that was designed during the financial crisis, the debt crisis, to give countries liquidity. And it comes with conditionality. And that's what was causing controversy here, because the countries affected, Italy and Spain, which just happened to be the same countries that were affected during the sovereign debt crisis, they were saying, look, there's no reason for this money to be coming with conditionality and oversight. That's just insulting. We didn't do anything wrong. We just happened to be the first ones hit. But the Netherlands was really insisting that that conditionality still applies. So the compromise they agreed last night is there will be only one condition, and that's that the money must be spent on healthcare. As long as it's spent on healthcare, there's no further conditionality or oversight. If it's not on healthcare, that's another story. Then the normal rules apply. And this will enable, Centeno said, the countries to draw up to 2% of their GDP from the fund. And he thinks that the healthcare costs of all of this are going to be so significant that they will reach that 2% threshold.
Okay, Dave, so the debate over the European Stability Mechanism and how it can now be used in the new context of this new crisis, that's been put to bed. But there has been another big debate ongoing. It's over the issue of Coronabonds. Tell us again what exactly they are and where that idea stands today.
Yeah, that was the other big issue causing disagreement here. Now, this is an issue that also goes back to the financial crisis. During that time, the heavily affected in-debt countries in Southern Europe wanted the debt of the Eurozone to be collectivized. They wanted all the countries that use the euro to guarantee the debt of all the countries. Why? Because it brings down their borrowing costs on the international market. So this call for so-called Eurobonds has been brought back with a new name, Coronabonds, and the idea is that in the economic recovery period to come, Spain and Italy are going to have to borrow heavily from the international markets, and that's going to come at a high price because they're already very in debt. If the northern countries are able to guarantee that debt, the cost will be lower, and it saves a return, a potential return to the sovereign debt crisis. Netherlands was resisting this as well, but Germany, which was kind of relaxed on the ESM issue, they also do not like this idea still. So what they agreed last night is kind of a fudge. They've agreed something called an innovative financial instrument that will be used to fight the coronavirus economic fire. But how that instrument will be built, they've left to EU leaders. I'm hearing that there may be a summit, another video summit of national leaders, prime ministers and presidents next week to talk about this. Now, this idea of a financial instrument was a French generated compromise. And it does seem to have worked because both sides came out of this last night claiming victory. The Italian minister said, we have the start of Coronabonds, and the Dutch minister was saying, see, this shows there will never be Coronabonds. So to be continued on that front.
Okay, Dave, we'll leave it at that for now, but thanks indeed, Dave Keating there, bringing us the current state of play and the financial measures being put in place at an EU level.